Hey, what's up everyone, Saintsfan back again with another GTA 5 video, and today I'm doing the top 10 most fun and interesting vehicles to own in GTA Online. Now actually, I'm in GTA single player just because it's easier for me to record the gameplay, so if it looks different or whatever, that's why, but it's still the same vehicles and you can get them all in online. Before I do hop in, if you want to contribute to this list, let me know in the comment section. Also, go follow me on Twitter if you don't already, because I'm doing 2 giveaways, so if you want to get some free stuff, then you gotta go follow me on Twitter to know when I'm doing that. Anyway, the ones I'm gonna start with first are the most expensive ones, and that's why they're coming in sort of, I guess, at the bottom of my list. None of these are in a particular order. Like, I wouldn't classify one over the other, but these two I do want to put at the bottom simply because of their outrageous prices. Now, if you do have unlimited amount of money, then you might already own these cars, but the one I'm driving, the Rocket Voltic, and the Ruiner 2000. Let's go ahead and talk about these. So, without a doubt, the Rocket Voltic might be one of the most fun vehicles in GTA. I mean, you're not going to see it much here on the freeway because it does go a little bit faster and all that. But where you're going to notice it is when you hit ramps and then you just go flying into the air. Like, there's nothing that beats the feeling of just doing that, flying around the city. I mean, your car's probably going to get all beat up or whatever, but it's so much fun to hit a ramp or just hit anything, not even a ramp, just hit anything and then go flying. I mean, you can see I suck at this, but this car, I think it's what, $4 million something. I would say if you had to pick one of the special vehicles, I don't know, it's really tough between this one and the Ruiner 2000. I mean, look at this. I'm just flying around, having fun. There's really not much that beats this. But on the other hand, if I do go ahead and switch to the Ruiner 2000, this one is almost as fun as the Rocket Voltic. I mean, one, yeah, you got the missiles and you got the machine gun on the front. But the fact that, okay, we're gonna hit an animal. You can just jump and then parachute. That is just amazing. I really wish we could get like a combo of this and the Rocket Voltic. I don't think that'll ever happen. But I can't tell you how awesome it is to drive this vehicle just down the street, right? And you know how when you're driving a regular car, people get in your way or there's a stoplight so the NPCs stop. Well, in this car, all you do, you keep going and then simply jump right over them. It's so much fun. Now, the reason it's actually on my list and the reason I would compare it to the Rocket Voltic, simply because in online, now I can't show you because I'm unfortunately in single player, but if you go into your interaction menu in online, if you have this car bought, you can actually do, while you're a CEO, you can do the VIP mission called Fully Loaded. And what that does is for 20 minutes, you'll get a Rocket Voltic that is indestructible and has unlimited missiles. I know that may be a little game breaking, and a lot of people probably won't like that because if you're just killing them, they'll probably get mad. But it is just so much fun to troll people and just to go around in an indestructible car that can shoot rockets. So those are the two on my list. I just wanted to put them on here because they are super fun. It's just unfortunate that they cost so much goddamn money. All right, next up, I want to talk about some super and sports cars, only because there aren't many on this list. There's actually only a few, and the reason that is just because this list is mainly about cars that you may not know about or you may not really think about when it comes to cool, fun, interesting cars in online. But I will say the Entity XF is probably my go-to supercar if I just want to drive around in online. And the reason that is, and the reason I'm putting it on this list as being a really fun, really interesting car is because of the handling. The handling on this car is incredible. It's probably the best out of the faster supercars. And because of that, you have so much more control. You rarely get in wrecks and accidents, I found. And if you just want to turn your brain off, not really think about much in GTA Online, but just want to go fast and drive and swerve in between cars on the interstate, the Entity XF is definitely, in my opinion, the best one. And then next, to wrap up the super sport part of this video, the Sultan RS. This car, now the Entity, like I said, I would use it if I'm going on a lot of straightaways, if I'm going on the interstate, but if I'm in the city, taking a bunch of turns, the Sultan RS is probably one of the most fun cars to use. Just listen to the sound. There's just something about the engine and the sound this car makes that I'm in love with. And I mean, apart from it, you got all the customization, so it'll look different, but it's just, the handling's great. It is a little bit faster than most sports cars since it is in that super class, but the sound, the engine, just everything about this car is incredible. And that's why I love it for sort of street riding. Now, I guess a runner-up to the Sultan RS would be the LG Retro Custom. This car, if you want to not be as fast and if you want to have a little bit more drift capability, I guess, then you might pick this car instead of the Sultan. They both have insanely good customization, so, you know, that is kind of neck and neck. Those are tied, in my opinion, as I just smoke the light pole there. But this is another fantastic option for just street driving in online. I think this one and then the Sultan RS are the two most fun vehicles when it comes to just flat out driving. And I'm sorry because I actually forgot about the Comet Retro. I wanted to throw this one in here because the two types of driving we've just talked about are highway driving and then sort of just street driving. But if you do like drifting, I would have to say the Comet Retro is one of the best cars for drifting. It was the Fudo for me, and I know I'm not like a hardcore drifter, and I'm sure some of the, you know, hardcore car guys might disagree, but the Comet Retro, if you slam it, like you can see my tires clipping through the car, one, it goes insanely fast, like you'll see here. Just look at this, it freaking flies. But it also actually drifts pretty well. I mean, you can see you don't have, I'm not very good at drifting, but if you are good at drifting, you obviously could control this car. But the it's almost got like no traction because it slides along. I really can't drive. It slides along the road, and if you do like drifting, or if you want to get into drifting, you know, the Comet Retro would definitely have to be up there on my list. So the three categories of driving: the Entity if you want highway, sort of straight line driving; the Sultan RS / LG Custom or LG Retro Custom if you want street driving; and then if you want drifting, I would have to say the Comet would be the best. Alright, now getting away from the super and sports cars, getting into some of the lesser known or lesser used fun vehicles, we'll go with motorcycles first. And I would have to put the Ruffian on this list. And the reason is because of how easy it pops wheelies. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've just driven around GTA Online, like in free mode, with the Ruffian just to hit certain things and see what I do. Like, that obviously did not work, but you hit certain ledges or certain, you can see a bench here, I might hit this person, and you go flying. And it's, oh my god, I landed up here. And it's so much fun to do that and just to see what you can do, what you, like, sort of stunt you can create in online in free mode. And I know the Baddie can also pop wheelies, and I know the Baddie is a little bit faster, but the Ruffian is just so easy to pop wheelies, and it's, oh god, that's a bus. And it's, you can hold them for longer, it seems, on the Ruffian. And because of that, you know, that's why it's on my list. Next up, we have the Roosevelt. And the reason I'm putting this on here is because, one, I like the sound of the engine. It's pretty, you know, it's not bad. The stock horn is incredible. I love it. The interior is also super nice. It's one of the best looking interiors of any car in GTA. And the fact that people can stand on the outside and you could go around murdering people, I don't know. It's a lot of fun to do that. It's also pretty funny when you hit like a little light pole and then one of your friends that's standing on the outside, they go flying off. So I think you could have some really fun times, some really great moments in online with the Roosevelt. And look, the Valentine's Day is coming up, so it is the 2 or 3 year anniversary of this vehicle. Next on the list, we're putting the trophy truck. And the reason I like this, you know, if I were to have an off-road vehicle, this would be up there. Some people might choose the Sand King, others might choose, I believe, the Contender's another option. But the trophy truck, it's not only got the good off-road ability, but it's got the speed. And the best part is what you're seeing now. I do have God mode on, so the stuff did just come back. Whenever I'm driving the trophy truck in online, I make it my mission to try and knock every single part that can come off. There's just something that is so fun about hitting these little yellow, whatever you call them, and then having parts of your car just go flying off. It doesn't make any sense, But it's so much fun. So that is why this one is on my list. Now, this next one may not be on some people's lists, and I'm sure you probably don't want to go out and spend the money to get this car. I would not if I were you, but it is one of the more fun Pegasus vehicles to drive. I mean, it's up there with, like, the monster truck. I don't remember how much this actually costs, but I mean, look how fast it's a pretty fast-moving vehicle, you know, for the size of it. And because of, you know, the decent handling, it's definitely not great, but it's pretty good for the size and for the speed. If I had to put a Pegasus vehicle on this list, I would either put this or the Liberator. But I feel like the Liberator, you're kind of limited because of how slow it is and all that. Or at least with this vehicle in online, yeah, you won't be going over cars, as you see. You just plow through them. But if someone's trying to kill you, you can get away easier because of the speed. And it is, I mean, it's a pretty, I'm getting beaten up, but it's kind of like a little tank. I mean, yeah, it does take one RPG to blow it up, but you can see you just plow through cars, and because of that, it is a pretty fun vehicle to use. Now, I did have to put an aerial vehicle on this list, and in my mind, there's no vehicle better, or no plane better than the Besra. Yeah, this doesn't have rockets, and yeah, it costs a lot of money, but I'm pretty sure this thing's actually faster than the Laser, and it's definitely faster than the Hydra. So it's a lot of fun. I use this sometimes when I want to troll Hydra players, because if you get in this, I mean, unless you're a horrible pilot and you're just flying in a straight line, Hydra pilots shouldn't be able to lock onto you and like shoot you down, because you can just go in circles. And one thing that's kind of cool, and I've seen this in many clips, although I have not done it before, if you go up to another plane, or I guess you can even do that to other helicopters, but I would not do that if they're not coming after you, if they're not trying to kill you, don't be a dick. You can actually go up to them and sort of just slightly tap them with this plane, and it'll blow them up. It's really funny to just troll Hydra players or other players in the air with that. Let's see if I can demonstrate this on this helicopter. It's probably not going to work. I do have God mode on. I'm probably going to crash it, but yeah, I just completely whiffed. But yeah, you basically just like go right over them and it crashes. And I'm sure you've seen in some clips before. But this thing is just, it's got good handling for, you know, for what it is, for a plane. And you can easily control it. I mean, I'm not the greatest pilot, but I think I can control this fairly easily. You can do some stunts with it if you want to fly around in the city. But this is definitely one of the most fun, if not the most fun, air vehicles in the game. And then the last one, as our plane flies away, the Faggio. I'm sure a lot of you guys are wondering why the hell this is in the thumbnail. Why is this on your list? Ow. But let me explain why the Faggio is one of the greatest vehicles in GTA Online. Now, the prerequisite to it being fun, and I'll see if I can get some gameplay for this, but the prerequisite is that you must be in a motorcycle club. And the reason you have to be in a motorcycle club is because when you're in a motorcycle club, you can ride in formation. And what that does, if you don't know, the leader of the formation, you basically go as fast as them. So if they are in a Hakuchu Drag or a Shotaro or any of the fastest bikes in the game, and they're leading the pack and they're going super fast, you can be in your Faggio and you can go just as fast as them. And that is like the greatest thing ever, because it is so much fun to get a group of 8 of your friends. One person is in the Hakuchu Drag going however fast it goes, you know, top speed. And then you have 7 other people in the Faggio mod looking as goofy as my freaking car or bike looks now. And they're all going just as fast as that Hakuchu Drag. The reactions you get in online are priceless, and that's why it's definitely up here. I mean, driving it around is fun. It is slow, so, you know, you might get shot at or whatever, and you are in a Faggio, so you might get shot at just because you're in a Faggio or you're on a Faggio. But the fact that you can go just as fast as the Hakuchu Drag, or the Shotaro, or the Akuma, or Kumi, or the Baddie, you know, the fact that you can do that makes this bike so much fun. And it doesn't really wheelie that much. It really doesn't matter either what Faggio you're on. I just figured I'd show the Faggio mod because of all the insane and goofy looking mods that you can put on it. But yeah, that's why the Faggio is going to wrap up this list of the top 10 most interesting and fun vehicles to own in GTA Online. Let me know in the comment section, do you own, or how many of these do you own? Because I'm sure you own at least one of them, but I don't know if anybody owns all of them. Thank you for watching, though. Please drop a like if you did enjoy. Let me know your thoughts on this list in the comment section. As always, though, I will see you guys in the next one.